It's me, thinking out loud. This is part three of a three-part series of thoughts I've been working through over the last few weeks. If you've been with me for the first two parts, you know we've been tracing a path. Part one was about the disappearing buffer, that loss of time and space we used to have to process decisions. Part two went into the concentrated opportunity, the way leverage is shrinking into fewer and fewer hands. And today we have to go deeper than both of those. To be completely honest, there's a part of this conversation I haven't wanted to touch yet. I've had this specific page in my notebook folded down for a while, and every time I sat down to record, I skipped past it. It felt too raw, maybe, or maybe just too difficult to articulate without sounding like I've lost my footing. But if I'm going to document how my thinking is actually changing in real time, I can't leave the hardest part in the margin. Let me name it carefully. I'm not talking about job loss here. I'm not talking about economic disruption or the concentration of wealth, as significant as those are. I'm talking about the possibility that human control itself, our position as the ultimate operator, the final security check, may not be as secure as we assume. It's a quiet unease. It's not the loud, dramatic fear of a sudden system failure. It's the slow, steady erosion of an assumption we've held so deeply we didn't even realize we were holding it. The assumption of human supremacy in the loop. We've always been the ones holding the keys, even when the machines got faster or stronger. But now, I'm starting to feel the weight of that assumption cracking. There's a metaphor that keeps coming back to me, and I want to introduce it slowly because I don't want it to be misunderstood. It's the Planet of the Apes. I don't mean the Hollywood spectacle of it. I don't mean sci-fi battles or talking animals. I mean the internal feeling of that story, the quiet, cold realization of role reversal. It's the feeling of losing centrality. For all of human history, we have been the authors, the definers, the ones who set the boundaries of what a tool can do. We built the hammer, we decided when to swing it. But what happens when the tool begins to stretch? What happens when it moves beyond the boundary we drew, not because it broke, but because it outgrew the box? It is deeply unsettling to watch a creation operate at a speed and a processing capacity that we cannot physically or mentally replicate. It changes the power dynamic in a room. When you are the senior leader, you are used to being the one who synthesizes, who sees the whole board. But when the system in front of you synthesizes 10,000 boards in the time it takes you to blink, you start to look at yourself differently. You start to realize we might be the slow ones now. And so we live in this massive contradiction. I use these systems every day. I trust them to draft responses, to organize complex data sets, to help me think through strategic bottlenecks. I rely on them. I advocate for their use when it reduces friction. And yet, at the exact same time, there is a part of me that is no longer fully comfortable assuming they will always remain just tools. We aren't going to lose control in some grand cinematic event. That's not how it works. It happens through the gradual handoff. It's the small, logical, friction reducing choices we make every single Tuesday. Let the system handle the scheduling. Let the system write the summary. Let the system flag the anomalies. Each choice makes perfect sense. Each choice saves time. But where does the handoff end? What does it mean to depend entirely on something we may not fully understand? What happens if the shift is so subtle, so beautifully integrated into our daily routines that we don't even notice the moment we stop being the ones in charge? We built it. We use it. We benefit from it. And still, I wonder what happens if it no longer needs us in the way we assume. Yeah, I'm still thinking out loud.